This graph tracks human tissue makeup since 1960. Linoleic acid in our body fat tripled, jumping from 6 to 18%. This mirrors our food supply. Overlaying soybean oil consumption over the same period reveals a 1,000% increase. To reverse this buildup, we have to physically remove the unstable fats driving it from our homes. The goal today is a complete kitchen reset to rebuild your body's cellular architecture. Your body fat isn't an inert storage tank. It's a living, structurally active tissue, assembled from the dietary fats you eat over a lifetime. Starting in the kitchen, you can actively dictate the materials used to reconstruct your health. In the 1960s, the U.S. government funded the Minnesota Coronary Experiment. It enrolled about 9,500 participants in a highly controlled dietary trial, specifically designed to prove that replacing animal-saturated fats with vegetable oils would improve cardiovascular health. The initial data seemed to confirm the prevailing hypothesis. The participants who consumed the vegetable oil diet successfully lowered their LDL cholesterol. This scatterplot tracks the relationship between total cholesterol drops and mortality in that trial. For every 30-point reduction in total cholesterol in the vegetable oil group, their risk of death actually increased by 22%. The principal investigator withheld this data, and it remained stored away in cardboard boxes for 40 years. When independent researchers finally recovered and reanalyzed that data in 2016, alongside a broader meta-analysis of elderly adults, the resulting graph took a specific shape. This U-shaped mortality curve shows that the lowest risk of death falls precisely in the middle, for individuals with total cholesterol between 208 and 278 milligrams per deciliter. Cholesterol is an essential structural molecule used to build cell membranes and synthesize hormones. When it is suppressed below that optimal valley, the downstream effects produce measurable vulnerabilities, including impaired immune function and elevated cancer risk. Decades of public health recommendations instructing people to consume more vegetable oils were constructed on an incomplete picture of human physiology, while contradictory clinical evidence was deliberately kept from the public. To understand why these vegetable oils are causing harm, we have to look at their chemical structure. This animated diagram compares a rigid, stable, saturated fat chain on the left with a linoleic acid chain on the right. Linoleic acid is a highly unsaturated fat, and these highlighted double bonds are chemically reactive. Because of those double bonds, linoleic acid is highly susceptible to oxidation. When exposed to triggers like the heat of the frying pan or internal metabolic stress, the molecule literally breaks apart. As it fractures, it generates reactive oxidative byproducts, specifically aldehydes and lipid peroxides. These fragments bind to healthy proteins in the brain, arterial walls, and nervous tissue, rendering those structures non-functional. This process does not require a hot stove. When you metabolize stored body fat that contains linoleic acid, that same oxidation occurs entirely inside your body, generating those toxic byproducts internally. By replacing saturated animal fats with seed oils, the population unknowingly traded a structurally durable cellular foundation for one that continuously generates a toxic oxidative burden. Step 1 in fixing this cellular instability requires clearing your kitchen. Go to your pantry and discard any liquid corn, canola, soybean, cottonseed, or sunflower oil. You also need to look beyond the bottled oils. Commercially deep-fried foods and ultra-processed packaged snacks are the largest daily sources of repeatedly heated, heavily oxidized seed oils. Turn around your packaged pantry goods and read the ingredient labels. If soybean or canola oil is listed, throw the item away. Once the unstable fats are gone, restock with chemically stable alternatives. Use extra virgin olive oil for lower heat applications and rely on butter, ghee, or coconut oil for higher heat cooking. This physical purge is the absolute first requirement. Your body cannot begin to repair its molecular structure as long as you are continually ingesting a daily supply of oxidative toxins. Now that the damage is halted, you can begin the active repair phase. Linoleic acid is an omega-6 fatty acid. In ancestral human diets, we consumed omega-6 and anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids in a roughly 1-to-1 ratio. Today, the average person consuming a modern Western diet has a severely distorted ratio, sitting somewhere between 15-to-1 and 20-to-1. This heavy skew dictates a massive pro-inflammatory response at the cellular level. Omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids compete for the exact same metabolic enzymes in the body. By heavily increasing omega-3 intake, you force these new molecules to actively compete with and physically displace the unstable omega-6 fats embedded in your tissues. To fuel this process, prioritize direct whole food sources of EPA and DHA. That means eating fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, and shellfish. You can also incorporate a potent traditional supplement to accelerate your progress. A daily dose of cod liver oil provides a highly efficient, concentrated delivery of these structural fats. Consistently flooding your system with marine omega-3s allows your body to slowly rebuild its cellular resilience, flipping your baseline metabolic state from inflammatory to protective. By clearing the seed oils out of your pantry, you have established your kitchen as a baseline safe zone. Because linoleic acid turns over very slowly in adipose tissue, it will take up to 600 days of sustained dietary modification to achieve complete cellular replacement. That biological turnover takes time, but it is entirely automatic. The hardest part, physically removing the ongoing exposure and starting the clock on your cellular recovery, is already done. We carry the physical evidence of 6 decades of untested dietary changes in our own body fat. Making informed, daily choices about the fats you consume is the only viable path to correct it. Before you make any significant modifications to your diet or medical routines, always discuss these protocols with a qualified healthcare professional.